Good evening everyone. In today's video we will be discussing regarding the concept of array of objects. In our previous video we have seen how to define a member function outside the class by making use of the scope resolution operator, and we have written some of the programs and we have seen the syntax how to use the scope resolution operator. Okay, in today's class let us discuss regarding the concept of array of objects. As I have told you, for a single class you can create multiple objects. In our previous examples I have done an example like we have created two objects in the previous example, that is for the class add I have created two objects, A1 and then A2. Now again, like this you can keep on creating multiple objects for a single class. So if you keep on creating the multiple objects, what happens is you will get confused how many number of objects is being created and how to access and which are all objects you have accessed. All these things gets confused. For that what you are doing is you are creating array of objects. In our first PUC we have discussed regarding the concept of arrays. So array is nothing but a collection of elements of same data type. But in this case what you are doing is you are creating an array of objects. Array of objects is nothing but the collection of objects of same kind is called as the array of objects. So in this particular class let us see how to create an array of objects and how to call the member functions by making use of the array of objects. Okay. Now let me write the program. Again the same simple program for addition of two numbers, and now onwards whatever the programs will be writing, in these programs will be writing or else will be defining all the member functions outside the class. Why? Because most of your lab programs will be having the programs in which you are defining the member function outside the class. So we will try that. Okay. So I will write the program to add two numbers. So firstly I need to make use of two header files. Okay. Next I will create a class by name add. Okay. Now in the private section we have to declare the variables. I will declare three variables, A, B and then sum. In the public I have to just declare the function, I should not define the function. So all the programs will be consisting of three different parts, that is one is input, output and then the processing. So void input will be one function, I have declared it. Next void calculate, I will create another one function, and then void output. Okay. Now I have created a class with the name add and I have declared the variables, and then I have just declared the functions. I have not defined it. I will be defining these functions outside the class. So I am closing the class. Okay. Next I have to define these functions one by one. So the syntax will be the return type followed by the class name followed by the scope resolution operator followed by the function name input. So in the input function what you are doing, you are reading the input variables. So I will write this particular statement, cout enter two numbers. Okay. So in the cin I will be reading the variables, input variables A and then B. So the input part is over. Next I have to go for the processing part. So I will define the next function, that is called as calculate. So for this again the return type is void, the name of the class is add followed by scope resolution operator, followed by the function name that is called as calculate. So in this particular part, what you have to do is you have to process it. So processing is nothing but you are performing the operation to get the result. So what I will do is I will process this input. I will write this particular statement, that is sum is equal to a plus b. That is I am adding these two variables, and the result is being stored in another variable that is called as sum. Now the second function calculate is over. The third part is the output function. So again I have to define it outside the class. So it will be like return type is void, the class name is add, and then I have to take the function name that is called as output. So the output function, what I will do is I will display the result. For that I will be making use of one cout statement. Cout the result is equal to sum, because the result is stored in the variable sum. I am displaying it. Now all the three functions are defined outside the class. Next what I have to do is I want to create array of objects. So to create the array of objects, the syntax will be class name followed by object name followed by the size of the array. Class name followed by the object name followed by the size of the array. This thing you have to declare it within the main function. So I will define the main function void main. Inside the void main I want to create array of objects. Array of objects for the class had. So the class name is had. Next object name. So let me create an object that is called as t, and then I will define the size that is called as 10. So what this particular statement means, in the sense, you are creating 10 objects of the size of the type had, like, so t of 0 will be one object, t of 1 will be one object, t of 2 will be another object, t of 3, t of 4, t of 5, like this up to t of 9. So totally you are creating 10 objects of kind had. Now totally I have created 10 objects. Instead of writing t1, t2, t3, t4, you can make use of this particular statement. So I have created 10 objects of kind had. Next what I will do is I will declare two more variables. Since I will be making use of array, I need a for loop. For that I will be making use of two more variables, I and then n. Now if I want to call this particular function 3 times, the n value will be 3. If I want to call this particular function 5 times, n value will be 5. I will show you how exactly to call all these member functions repeatedly by making use of the array of objects. So firstly what I will do is I will take one cout statement, enter the value of n, and then I will read the value of n. Next what I will do is I will make use of the for loop. For I is equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, t of I. Here in our previous example what you used to do is t dot input, you used to call the function like this particular statement. Now we are making use of the array, so I need to make use of the array. So t of I dot input. Next I want to call the next function, that is called as the calculate. Again t of I dot calculate. Again I want to call the third function, that is t of I dot output. And then I am closing this particular for loop, and then I will write get ch, and then I will close the main function. So this is the program that illustrates how exactly to create the array of objects. Array of objects is nothing but an array which consists of objects, an array which consists of object of same kind. In this particular program, I am creating 10 objects of kind add. Here the objects will be ranging from t of 0, t of 1. So the first object, as you people know, the array index starts from 0. So the first object will be t of 0. The next object will be t of 1. Like this, you will be creating totally 10 objects. Okay. This thing you will be calling it as an array of objects. Now let us see how exactly this particular program executes. Now I want to calculate, or else I want to take 3 different inputs and then I want to calculate the sum for all the 3 different inputs. So what happens? I will execute this particular program. I want the input to be taken 3 times and the output to be displayed 3 times. So what happens? I will execute this particular program. So I will get this particular statement first. Enter the value of n. I will enter the value of n as 3. I will enter the value of n as 3. Now the value of n is 3. Next what happens? It will come to this particular for loop. So here what happens? For I is equal to 0, I less than 3, I plus plus. Because the value of n is 3, so this n value will be replaced with 3. Next what happens? I value is 0. 0 is less than 3. 0 is less than 3. So what happens? It will be true. True ಆದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? This particular function gets executed. So the first statement gets executed. That is t of 0 dot input will be called. T of 0 dot input function will be called. So what happens? The control gets transferred to this particular block and this particular block gets executed. You will get the statement that is enter 2 numbers. Enter 2 numbers. You will enter the 2 numbers. Let us consider 10 and 20. Now what happens? The 10 value gets stored in A and 20 gets stored in B. Okay, the value of A is now 10 and the value of B is now 20. Next what happens? You are calling the calculate function. So the calculate function will be called like this. T of 0 dot calculate. T of 0 dot calculate. So what happens? The calculate function will be called. Again what happens? This statement gets executed. That is sum is equal to A plus B. As you people know, the value of A is now 10 and the value of B is now 20. So what happens? 10 and 20 gets added and the result gets stored in the variable that is called as sum. Next what you are doing? You are calling the third function, that is the output function. So it will be called as T of 0 dot output. So what happens? The output function will be called and then Cout, the result is equal to sum, that is the result is equal to, the value of sum is nothing but 30. So this will be displayed. Next again what happens? I value gets incremented. Okay, I value gets incremented. I value was initially equal to 0. Now it gets incremented to 1. Now the value of I is 1. 1 is less than 3. N value is 3. 1 is less than 3. True. So what happens? Again, you will call these 3 functions again. So what happens is T of 1 dot input will be called. So again what happens is this function gets executed. Again you will be getting the same statement, enter 2 numbers. Now I will enter 20 and then 40. The value of A will be 20 and the value of B will be 40. Next, T of 1 dot calculate will be called. We are calling the calculate function. T of 1 dot calculate will be called. So what happens is this function gets executed. Now the value of A is 20 and the value of B is 40. So what happens? 20 plus 40, it is nothing but 60. 60 gets stored in the variable that is called as sum. So Next, what happens? You will call the third function, that is called as output. So it will be called as T of 1 dot output. T of 1 dot output will be called, and it will display, or else it will display this particular statement. The result is equal to sum. The value of sum is now equal to 60 will be displayed. Again, what happens is I value gets incremented. I value now becomes 2. Okay, 2 is again less than 3. So it is true. So what happens is these three function gets executed. Now the value of I will be T of 2 dot input. You will call the function in this particular way. T of 2 dot calculate and T of 2 dot output. Okay. So the input function will be called, calculate function will be called, and then the output function will be called. Again, what happens is I value gets incremented. I value now becomes 3. 3 is less than 3, so it is false. So what happens is it will exit out of the loop. Now you can see you have called these three functions repeatedly 3 times. If you have entered the value of n as 5, all the three functions will be called 5 times. That is T of 1, T of 2, T of 3, T of 4, like this. Okay. So this is the concept of array of objects. Array of objects, it is used to create an array of objects. That is, if you want to declare multiple objects, like 100 objects, 200 objects, like that, you will be making use of the array of objects. By making use of the array of objects, what happens is you can execute the member functions many number of times, as long as the size of the array is within the size of the n. Okay, if the value of n is less than the size of the array, you can execute these particular functions many number of times. Okay, this is the concept of array of objects. So hope you people have understood this. The same programs what you have executed previously, but the thing is you are using an array. Instead of declaring 1 or 2 objects, you are declaring an array of objects, and you people know for accessing the array you will be making use of the looping statement. For that you have to declare 2 more variables, I and then n, where n states the size, or else n shows how many number of times you want to execute this particular member functions. Okay, so this is the concept. Hope you people have understood. If you have not understood, or else if you have got any doubts in this particular concept, you can message me. And the same thing, you have to write 2 programs and send it to me. One is to find simple interest, okay, and simple interest, and the next one is to find the area of rectangle. Okay, so this will be your assignment. In this you have to make use of the array of objects. One more point you have to remember, most of you have written the programs correctly, but the thing is, in the triangle program you have to write like this: area is equal to 0.5 into, instead of x symbol you need to make use of star symbol in the programming language, 0.5 into b into h. Or else if you are using of, what you have to do is area is equal to b into h whole divided by 2. This is how exactly you have to write the formula for this. Okay, so hope you have understood the concept, and hope you people will write the program and send it to me. Thank you everyone.